Hey everyone, Gigadomi Gunkwe here again for another Chatting with Wisdom. And so, right now, I'm going to be catching up on the gratitude challenge. So, we're on day 12. I'm on day 12. You guys are on day 16, but I'm on day 12. And so, I'm doing a little bit of catch up today and tomorrow. And so, my goal is to be caught up tomorrow. So, we'll see where I get. We will see where I get. But I am so excited that you guys are on this journey with me, and just really important for us to be able to bring what we bring to this energy. And I love the feedback that I get inside the group as to how you guys are doing with the challenge and where you guys are at. And so the challenge for day 12 was recall a lesson learned from someone you didn't know and how this has impacted you. And so when I did this and tried to journal with it, I struggled with this one as well because I learned lots from a lot of people, and they end up not being strangers. And um, so just trying to think of like who or what was someone that was a stranger and how that impacted me. And so, and like I said, generally strangers end up becoming friends. And so, or they become one offs. So, like, it all kind of depends on what it is that's going on. But one of the things that I can talk about, or that I can think about, is being able to have this connection with people who really teach us how to um, recognize what it is that's going on with others. And so sometimes we forget. Sometimes it's like, oh, it's so easy to be able to pass judgment. We're walking down the street and we see somebody who's having a really hard time. And it is just so easy for us to just say, oh, yeah, well, that person must have done A, B, and C, when we don't really know if that's really the case. We don't really know how that anybody got to where they are. And so, um, so the one particular person that I'm thinking about, this is somebody who I was able to connect with, that I didn't know who they were or what was going on, and that random act of kindness. So it was just something that I just looked like they were having a hard time. So then I just bought something for them to eat and then dropped it off. And a couple of years later, the person came back to me and said, like, that was at my I was at my worst. Um and but you were kind, and you came and you brought something, and you gave me something to eat, and it just gave me hope. It gave me hope to be able to keep going. And that day, that particular person had a plan that they were not going to continue to live. And so um I've never met this person again. This person remembered me, remember the situation. And I've never met this person again, but it was because it wasn't while I was living here, it was while I was living out of town, or while I was actually out of town. But it was someplace that I would go often. And so it was just really interesting to see how um, something had impact, like something that we do has an impact on everyone else. And so we never know where somebody is at. And so, like, if we can, we're just doing a live on being kind, and just being kind to others. We don't know where other people are going to be. It's important for us to not take advantage of others. It's important for us not to allow others to take advantage of us, setting rules and boundaries and limitations, but being able to be there to support people who we don't know is sometimes all that we need. And so, and like I said, it's been years. I have not had that connection with this person since, like, it was two connections, and this person remembered me, not the other way around. But it was somebody that lived in the neighborhood that I was in, and so, but And I often wonder how that person's doing and whether or not that person's doing okay. But it really is that reminder that it just really takes me back to being that reminder. And so, like the live that we were doing today and talking about the kindness, that sometimes that kindness needs to come from within for ourselves. And so that it's easier for us to be able to recognize with others. Um, Earlier, or I guess it would have been later last week, just in our group of people, somebody was talking about how it was difficult for them to be interacting with someone, and this is somebody that they know, and one of the conversations was that people can be so hateful. We get to be it's so easy for us to be in a world where everybody else everything is everyone else's problem. And it's not like we are still responsible for our actions. We are still responsible for what it is that we're doing. But sometimes things don't always happen the way that people have intended them to be. And so sometimes our lives take a different twist than what we were anticipating or what we had expected or what we had planned. And so it's just really important for us to be able to just have some empathy for others. And when I was talking with Grace today, so was it today? No, yesterday. I don't even remember if it was today or yesterday, but we were on a conversation, but we were talking about like mistakes happening and things like that. And it's just so important for us to remember that we are not perfect. No one else in the world is perfect, and we are going to make mistakes, and it's about being able to learn from them. And sometimes we end up making the same mistake over and over and over again. But it's just that reminder that we need to sometimes just take that step back and see where we're going. And yeah, so like that's kind of where I'm at. So the other part that was really funny is that, so in the 365 days of gratitude, so that one there was about, MJ was actually talking about this during the live. So if you haven't caught the interview with MJ and I, you definitely want to go and have a listen. So we were both talking about the fact that we're both Aries. So I did not know that. So that's actually pretty cool. And it's not like that's get things done kind of people. And so when something needs to be done, it's easy to be able to just get on task, but it's also important for us to be able to slow things down, because if we don't have enough give to be able to go. But the prompt for April 12th in the book is inner child. Aries energy is also associated with the innocence and spontaneity of our inner child. Recall a recent moment of pure joy or silliness. Well, I get lots of those. I get lots of joy and silliness when Clark's coming around. But even just like, I'm just kind of thinking back to when I was in high school. And I don't remember what it was that happened. It was just so funny, whatever it was that was happening. And I was like gasping for air. I could not breathe. I was laughing so hard. And I don't know if I've ever had another experience that was like that belly gut taking my breath away kind of laugh that I had in high school. And I think that I need to kind of dive back into that, or go and see if I can find some of those moments, because one of the things that happened was my friends, and so my friends were all around me and I couldn't breathe, and so then I could literally just kind of like sat down on the floor, and they're like, so my one friend says, "Hey, what are you doing on the floor?" And I'm like, I just can't breathe. I just have to like try and catch my breath. And they're like, what are you doing? And so then he tried to help me up, and I'm like, yeah, no, I can't get up right now. But it was just so funny that, and I don't know why that made me think of that today. So, but yeah, so that's kind of like, but I really need to get more into that silliness. I need to, and having that conversation with MJ today, it really is something that I need to do more of. I do lots of silly things with the kids, but I need to do more of that when the kids aren't around, and we can just be silly and goofy and just enjoy some of that time. So anyway, on that note, I will chat with you guys later. My plan is to come back on again after Yoga Nidra, so I will chat soon. Bye for now.